Toro Time Master 500-hour review. Is it good? Is it bad? Does it cut good? Does it cut bad? All coming up here on Unbroken Lawn Care. All right, boys, the Toro Time Master 30-inch cut width, a 223 cc's Briggs & Stratton engine. Comes with the side chute and the bagging system. It's a stow and go push mower with the personal pace system set up. Just a quick overview, you have your personal pace system. Your blade and gauge is here. You have to move this blue bar here. The cutoff switch is right here. Gas, of course, I believe it is a half-gallon tank. Pull cord right here. Your oil cap. You have your whole belt system. It says chute blocker is a clip system right in here. You have two height adjust bars that are numbered right through here. I think it is from 1 1/4 all the way to 3 3/4. And there's a 2, so it's not a 4-point system, it's a 2-point system. Right back here, you have a bagging system with a chuck that you're just going to press this pin down and you can pull out. You got the water wash off deck. This is the control arm stow and go feature. It can fold up to 90 degrees and then fold all the way down flat like that. Flipping the mower up. As you can see, it's a dual blade system with a timing belt action. So these blades will work on this geared timing belt so they spin perfectly in sync so they're not clashing against each other. All right, now to jump into the review. All right, my pros. First pro, this thing is a compact mower. You're going to fit in every single sized back gate. It could fit. This thing is going to be just as good as your residential 22-inch or 21-inch mower. It just gives you that extra cutting width, but the ability to stow it away. Another good thing is that it's super light, so you're not going to be yards with this unless you're cutting really wet grass, but I've never rut anything before with this machine. Second thing, gas capacity, great. I love the personal pace system that Toro has put on these. Makes it easy so you don't have to hold down a lever. You can just push and go. It saves your strain on your hands. The electric stop is very nice, so you don't have to worry about letting go of a bar. It does have start and stop, so you can go over concrete surfaces without having to shut it off, which is very nice for a residential push mower. Very light, which is another plus. Unlike its predecessor, the Turf Master, it comes in at 3/4 to half the weight of the Turf Master, so you can pick it up, move it places if you need to. You can slide it on the trailer. Love the stow and go feature because I can fold it up. I can rest it against that tool rack over there, which saves a lot of space. I can put whatever fertilizer, sprayers, whatever I need to right there. Then you could fold it down and then fold it up to save space, say into your shed or wherever you're storing your lawnmowers. Gas capacity is good. I can get about 1 to 2 yards. It could be better, but you're going to have enough gas, like I said, if you're using it as a part-time machine. Mulching capabilities, this is probably one of the best mulching mowers that I have ever owned, and that is including my commercial stand-on mowers. This thing mulches like a champ. The bagging system's also very great. It gets the bag completely full, doesn't leave it half full or anything like that. It does an excellent job and does what I need it to. Another great thing about the Toro Time Master is its price point. It comes in at about, I think it is $15.99. I bought it for $1,500 or $14.99, but the prices of Toro have gone up slightly. But this is going to come significantly lower than the commercial Turf Master with the same size cutting height. But there are some things that is lacking. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump into the cons. All right, I think to start this off with the cons, I want to show you everything that is broken on this machine, everything I have praised so far. Starting up at the top, I have replaced the stop thing, and this was just recently, as well as I have replaced both the blade engage and the self-propel cable twice, both 2 times. Working my way down here, I've replaced all 3 engine flywheel mounting bolts as well as the pull cable. I have replaced all 3 belts. One is the timing belt, then the engagement belt, and then the self-propel belt that is over there by the transmission. I'll flip the mower up in a little bit. I've also replaced both pulleys as well as this sliding arm. I've also replaced both back tires in the 500 hours I've used it. And I've also replaced some of these blade keys. So with all that said, here are the cons. Biggest con with this machine is the lack of airflow with these spindles here. So if you were to leave, this thing comes with a cover that you can put over top. With the Bermuda grass I've been cutting, or I don't know if fescue does this as well, the amount of dust and debris that gets caked up around the spindles makes the belt overheat. The pulleys there will struggle and break. I've had all that stuff happen. So what I did is I completely took off this cover, and this has saved me from being able to diagnose the issue before it breaks, and also be able to blow this out with my blower when I'm doing multiple properties and be able to keep this clean, running smoothly. That fixes that issue. Now, if you see here on the base model, these caps actually won't be here. These spindle caps. So they are actually exposed bearings on this model. So what I've done is taken a little bit of grease to grease them up. But being the fact that they are exposed bearings, that means that water and dust can get up underneath there and cause them to wear out faster. So if you are pressure washing this mower, or if you're going through a lot of dusty yards, be prepared to replace these pulleys from time to time, or make sure that you're at least greasing them to get the most life out of them. Like I said, I've had the most issues with this mower over here in the belt and spindle section, just because of, one, the amount of torque that this mower has, and two, the amount of dust that just accumulates in this area. So definitely recommend taking this cover off when you buy one. That way you can save and be able to overview this stuff. Great. Some more negative. The throttle cables always overheat and burn and snap. So I've had that happen on 4 occasions when I'm out on the field, where these belts will burn out and literally they'll snap, but it looks burnt on the end. Not sure how to really prevent that, or if that's just normal wear and tear. Like I said, I've had this mower for 3 full seasons now, and these are heavy. The first season it was my primary mower, and the second 2 seasons I've been using it for about 10 to 20% of my yards, to put it in perspective. So it's definitely seen some wear and tear and some real hardcore battling. All right, con number 2 is down here in these blades. The fact that this is on a timing belt system means that if this belt, this toothed belt here, slips just a little bit, these blades are going to eventually hit each other. And when they hit each other, not only does it sound terrible, but you are going to ruin both of your blades. And depending on what blades you use, like I use the Orkin Gold blades, that is a lot of money under here just to be blown up by the fact that these blades are hitting each other. So please note, make sure you're checking your belt every time you put these blades back on. Make sure this thing hasn't slipped off. One should be about 90 degrees from each other as the other one, so make sure they're adjusted. Like I might need to adjust it right now, as you can see. See how this one's a little bit lower, so I might need to make some adjustments here. But just make sure that these things do not touch each other, or you will ruin all your blades. Onto this mower is the fact that they have put a lettering system instead of a height system on this mower. So if you are a new person, or you haven't used this mower very often, then it is going to be very difficult to be able to tell what height you are cutting on. I know that D is at 2.5, and it goes up and down by 1/2 inch. So D is at 2.5, so that means this is 2, 1.5, 1. This is going to be 3, 3.5, 4. Okay, so whenever you're adjusting it, how I look at things is I look at the D is 2.5 because that's what I normally cut on. But it is a weird system to put on something when we're used to measuring in inches anyway on every other mower that Toro has created, or any mower brand in general. So there are 2 of those, which is better than the 4-point system like on the recycler. And these actually operate very, very smoothly. It's a very weird system that you have to get used to. Another thing is the gas capacity. Could it be more? Yes, but this is really tailoring to a residential customer. But as a commercial guy, this gas tank is not going to be big enough for even a day's worth of use. If you're using this more than once or twice, you need to go ahead and fill it up, because it will be completely drained or empty. This thing is a gas guzzler, a time saver, but a gas guzzler. So make sure you're all filling up after every yard so you don't get stranded in the backyard and have to make a run to the trailer to get gas. Another weird thing, which I have gotten used to, but it was something that was weird to start out. I'm gonna fold down this handle here. As you can see, on most push mowers, your pull cord is going to be up here where you can reach it. The Time Master, they did not make that feature. Yes, can you mount it here? Of course you can. There is a spot for you to mount it. You need the hardware though. But honestly, after a while, you get used to pulling it from right here. But it is kind of inconvenient if you're used to it being up there. It's just something to note that it isn't quite there. It isn't going to be where you can reach it from the handle. You're going to have to reach over here to this side to be able to pull and start it. That wraps up my pros and cons, and by no means does the pro outweigh the cons. Here is my official opinion on this mower. Honestly, depends on how many yards you are cutting with this thing. If you have a backup mower or two, a commercial sit down or zero turn that you are using primarily, honestly, this is perfect for fitting in those 1 to 2 properties that you don't want to buy a commercial mower for, that it just isn't worth it. If you aren't mowing more than, let's just say, 8 to 10 yards, this is the perfect mower for you. Holds up good. It has this 30-inch cutting width will save you minutes on a yard, which is a big deal when you're talking about being there for 30 to 15 minutes. It could probably cut it in a third of the amount of time that it takes for me to cut it with, say, a recycler. So it definitely saves you time up there, even with all the negatives. Price is good, way cheaper than a commercial unit, way lighter than a commercial unit. So I would definitely recommend it to those landscapers that aren't ready to either buy a commercial push mower or a commercial 36-inch zero turn or stand on, that really just need it for a couple backyards that they can't fit their main mowers in, and that they can just run it back there, get it done as fast as efficiently, and not have to spend a fortune. So this mower has done great. It is held up against me using as a primary mower. Even when I was mowing 20 plus yards with it a day, this thing has held up with just those minor issues. The main issues are going to be in your belt system. And honestly, guys, decent quality mower, comes with a bag and the side shoe. I would recommend picking it up, like I said, if you're going to use it as a part-time thing, or if you need more room on your trailer. That stow and go feature will help you out a ton with that. If you are using this as more of a primary mower, you're using it for 6 to 10 yards a day, I definitely recommend you going to the Turf Master, the commercial version of this push mower. But if you are not, this is the mower for you. If you found that video helpful on the Toro Time Master, if you would like, share, subscribe, turn on post notifications, I really do appreciate it. We're trying to grow the channel here. But if I missed anything, if you have any questions still about whether you should or should not purchase the Toro Time Master, leave it down in the comments below. I'll make sure to get back to you as soon as I can. So y'all, with all that said, stay tuned, stay safe, stay unbroken.